You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
Well, guys, we're going to be talking a little bit of sports here and politics at the same time, because there's no doubt about it, guys, that politics and sports, it's definitely been going hand in hand, to say the least. You guys know that the NBA is full-blown China. That's why we actually call it the Marxist NBA of China. And when it comes to the NBA, they're definitely engaged in left-wing politics that is destroying this country, led by one LeBron James. Now, LeBron James and Donald Trump, they do not get along. Now, Donald Trump makes appearances at sporting events, but he actually likes to go to events that are actually pro-American. I don't think you will ever see Donald Trump at an NBA game. Just won't happen. And Donald Trump has been a long-time sports fan. He actually used to own a team in the USFL, if I'm not mistaken, back in the 1980s. Actually, Herschel Walker actually used to play for Donald Trump's team. He is a big supporter of sports that are pro-American. Now, one sports league that is actually a pro-American is the UFC. Dana White. Dana White, guys, Dana White is actually pretty fair. If you want to support the Marxist BLM, he says okay. If you want to be full MAGA, he says okay. He actually allows diversity of thought in the UFC. Now, of course, Dana White, he's not a Marxist or anything like that, but he respects the opinions of the fighters. Now, we know if this was the NBA, that would not be the case. That's probably a reason why, guys, why you don't actually see a MAGA hat or vote Trump in the NBA. I'm willing to bet, guys, that there is a few players in the NBA that are pro Donald Trump, but they would never, ever come out and say it. They would not, because they know they would be canceled because the NBA does not believe in diversity of thought. But the UFC, they do. They do. So Donald Trump actually made an appearance at UFC 287, and this was also the final fight of Jorge Masvidal's career. And he actually had something to say about Donald Trump and also about one Beijing Biden. Now, Jorge Masvidal, his father was actually born in Cuba. And there's a reason why Jorge Masvidal actually lives in the great state of Florida. He doesn't like communism. And these people over here, these left-wingers over here in this country, they want communism. The only people that want communism here in this country are people that never actually lived under communism. Let's be real about it. If they actually did live under communism, guess what? They would change their minds. These people are deranged, and they have definitely infiltrated every aspect of life, education, and even sports. But Donald Trump actually made an appearance at UFC 287. He's been showing up, and the crowd loves him. Look at this picture right here. That's Dana White right there. Donald Trump. Kid Rock right there, who actually canceled Woke Light, Bud Light's beer. And YouTube actually demonetized that video over on the network channel. Guys, ridiculous. But anyway, and also Iron Mike Tyson, who was once the baddest man on the planet. They're all ringside enjoying UFC 287. And the crowd, guys, they love Donald Trump. Look at this here. This tweet here, President Donald Trump in attendance at UFC 287. That's him right there sitting next to Kid Rock. That was also another video clip of him making an entrance. The crowd loved it. But we got this clip here of the crowd also reacting to Donald Trump. I believe he's on like the bit screen or something like that. So let's play this. You can actually, let me rewind first and listen to this.
And Octagon side with us tonight, 45, President Donald Trump.
What about?
Yeah, the crowd cheering him on. Cheering him on. Now, it's funny, guys, because when Joe Biden actually shows up at events or Jill Biden, they get booed. Jill Biden showed up to the World Series last year in Philly. She's supposed to be a Phillies fan, and the crowd booed her. She got booed. Funny, guys, we couldn't actually find that clip. Nobody could actually find it, but everybody was saying it did happen. She got booed. Also, Joe Biden actually showed up to, it was actually on a video screen. I believe it was the Super Bowl doing I don't remember exactly when it was. It may have been last year. And Joe Biden got booed. People do not like Joe Biden. He inspires nobody. He's destroying everyone's life. And I bet you there's a lot of people that actually do miss Donald Trump. He's running in 2024. He is getting my vote. I don't even have to think about it. Now, of course, the left is doing everything possible to get this man thrown in prison for 136 years. That's pretty crazy right there, if you ask me. And Alvin Bragg, he really doesn't have anything, but that's not the point. They're trying to humiliate Donald Trump and kill the MAGA movement. But guys, it's actually backfiring. The MAGA movement is actually grown bigger. Now, Jorge Masvidal, check this out on our kick. Jorge Masvidal starts "Let's Go Brandon" chant with Trump in attendance. I like this, guys. I like this because this was his final fight, and he's actually in the ring with Joe Rogan. And Joe Rogan, after the fight, is interviewing Jorge Masvidal. And Joe Rogan is it seems like he is now probably gonna vote Trump if it actually comes down to Trump and Beijing Biden. And of course, we know that that Joe Rogan, he is not a Beijing Biden fan. Actually, the left hates Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan, I guess, finally woke up and just realized, hey, these leftists hate me. They're actually calling Joe Rogan a right-winger when he's not. They want to call him a conspiracy theorist when he came down with the Wuhan virus based on the things that he actually took. He didn't want to get the jab, so the left, they crushed him because he did not want to get the jab at all. But the left is always screaming, my body, my choice. No, Joe, they want you to bend the knee completely because the left is nothing more than authoritarian communists. So will Joe Rogan actually, even though he's not the biggest Trump supporter, will he actually go out there and vote Trump? Sounds like he probably will. Rhodes actually did a video on that, I believe, on the network channel. But look here, look at this clip here. Jorge Masvidal thanks Donald Trump, calls him, quote, greatest president in the history of the world, and then starts a "Let's Go Brandon" chant. Yeah, Jorge Masvidal, this isn't the first time that he's actually come out and support Donald Trump. This is something you will not find in the Marxist NBA China because they are authoritarians. You may actually, not get signed, lose a contract or something like that if you say you support Trump. Or pretty much if you just disagree with the NBA, they're going to go out there and try to cancel you. Why is Enes Cancer Freedom not on the team right now? And don't give me, guys, Colin Kaepernick isn't on the team. Well, Colin Kaepernick couldn't play. He couldn't play. It's just as simple as that, and Colin Kaepernick is a grifter. But last time we actually saw Enes Cancer Freedom, he was actually giving you 11 points and 11 rebounds a game just the season before. And then this season, once he speaks out against China, then all of a sudden his minutes drop. He gets traded away, and he can't get back in the NBA. Let that sink in. But let's go ahead and get into this and play this clip, guys, of Jorge Masvidal right here, leading the crowd in a "Let's Go Brandon" chant. Let's go ahead and play this.
I'm a huge fan, and I've appreciated everything you've done.
Also, I want to say, greatest president in the history of the world, sitting right there. I love that guy.
Listen to the crowd. They're cheering him on. They're cheering him on when he calls Trump the greatest president in the history of the world. The crowd loves it.
We also got the greatest governor of all time here in Florida. Let's keep Florida free, a red state, and let's take that. You know who? Let's go Brandon motherfucker out of power and replace him. If I could get it just one time. Let's go Brandon! Let's go Brandon! I'm out, y'all. 305 for life.
There you go, man. Jorge Masvidal ends his career by leading the crowd in a "Let's Go Brandon" chant. And the crowd repeats it in the background right after him. That was fantastic right there. You know, if these left woke athletes are actually going to do the same thing pretty much. If you are on the opposing side, you should be able to do it also. But we know if this was the NBA, he wouldn't be allowed. He may get suspended. He may be banned. But the UFC is open to both sides. Dana White is doing a good job over there at the UFC. He's not trying to silence anybody. He may tell you, hey, I don't agree with you, but hey, I respect that you actually want to voice your opinion. We got a real problem here in this country, folks, because Brandon is definitely destroying this country. There isn't a person out there that can actually honestly admit that their life is better now than with Trump. I don't believe anybody really believes that. How can you actually be okay with paying more for stuff now than with Donald Trump? How can you be okay with being on the verge of World War III with Beijing Biden? This never happened under Donald Trump. It is very, very simple. But a whole bunch of people just probably won't admit it that voted for Beijing Biden in person. But behind closed doors, yeah, they'll probably admit it. That's why Beijing Biden's job approval rating is in the trash. This man is awful. This man is terrible. But shout out again to Jorge Masvidal. Congratulations on your career and retiring. Good to see Donald Trump there. Everybody cheering for him. Jorge Masvidal cheering for him. Man, great scene at UFC 287. That's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and White Sports 2 fans, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.